Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For all of my new knitters out there, I've put together a new stitch tutorial that I think you all are really going to love. Today I'm teaching how to knit the seed stitch. So come along with me and we'll make this stitch together. Hey everyone, welcome back to Fiber Theory. Today I want to teach all of my new knitters how to make a seed stitch, which is actually a type of stitch in knitting that actually uses the knit and the purl stitches every single row. So go ahead and get your needles and get some yarn and we'll go ahead and get started. Today I am using the Takumi Clover US 10.5 or 6.5 millimeter needles, straights, and I'm just using some size 5 weight yarn. It doesn't matter what size yarn you get as long as you have both, and then we can practice. So go ahead and get your stuff and we'll get started. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start out making a slip knot and put in my first needle. And now we're going to go ahead and cast on to our needle using something called the knit stitch or the knit cast on. We're going to go ahead and insert like we would be making a knit stitch. We take the long part of the yarn, we go around the needle like this until the yarn is between both needles. Then we pull that yarn out until we make it long, and then with this needle here we go up underneath that leg and we go ahead and put it onto this other needle here so that we have now 2 working stitches. And then we continue the same way with every single one. Go ahead and put on, I'd say 10 stitches total, and then we will start the seed stitch on the next row. Alright, so once you have 10 stitches on your needle, we're going to go ahead and make the very first stitch on here is going to be a knit stitch. Push the knit stitch off onto the working needle. Now we're going to make a purl stitch. Bring your yarn in front, bring the needle up underneath that front leg, bring that yarn around and push that new stitch off and onto the working needle from behind. There we go. And now we bring this yarn back and we're going to do a knit stitch. And then we're going to bring the yarn around the front again and do a purl stitch. Bring the yarn back and knit. Bring the yarn in front and purl. Bring the yarn in back and knit. Bring the yarn in front and purl. Bring the yarn in front and knit. Bring the yarn in front, and the final one will make a purl. Alright. Now what you're doing is knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl all the way down. And then we turn our work. And then what we're going to do is the opposite. Now right here you can see that we did a purl stitch on this side. So on the opposite side of your purl stitch you're going to have a knit stitch. So what you want to do is make sure to purl where the knit stitch is, knit where the purl stitch is, and you can tell with the knit stitch here the stitch here looks nice and straight, and then with the purl stitch you're going to have this little bar that goes across. And then over here you have another knit stitch and you can tell that it's nice and straight. Over here you have another bar. So you'll be knitting the purls and purling the knits. So in this very first one here, you're going to put your needle through the front leg as if to purl, and then bring your yarn around the needle and make your first purl stitch. Bring your yarn to the back, and then we're going to knit the stitch. Bring the yarn to the front and we're going to purl. Bring the yarn to the back and we are going to knit. Bring the yarn to the front, and we are going to purl. Take the yarn to the back, and now we're going to knit. Yarn in front, purl. Yarn around back, and knit. Yarn in front, and purl. Yarn in back, and knit. You'll start to notice that you have little bumps forming. Those are going to be your purl stitches, and the areas where you're not having any bumps in between them will be your knit stitches. Let's go ahead and do another row together. So when you turn your work, you're going to notice that now you have this bar going across. This is now a purl stitch here, and we're going to knit this stitch. This here is a knit stitch, and we're going to purl this one. Okay, and that's how we're going to start this out. So we're going to start out with a knit right here. Bring the yarn around the front and make a purl. Bring the yarn to back and knit. Yarn in front and purl. Yarn in back and knit. Yarn in front and purl. Yarn in back and knit. Yarn in front and purl. Yarn in back and knit. Yarn in front and purl the final stitch. And now when you pull this out, you're going to start to see the pattern take shape. You're going to have the bumps, and you're going to have the little spaces between the bumps that are the knit stitches. How about we do one more? Okay, again, so that you get the gist of this and the pattern. Here, as we've turned our work, we can see that this is a knit and this is a purl because there's the bar. There's a little bump. So we're going to go ahead and purl the knit and knit the purl. And this is what you do every single row. Every single row, you just knit the opposite of what you knitted before. Now go ahead and do this on your own. Knit the purls, purl the knits, and I'm going to show you what mine looks like after I put in about another 5 to 10 rows. So go ahead and work on your own, and I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, so here you have it. This is what a seed stitch looks like, and as it grows you can see that now you have a pattern. You have what looks like little bumps, and then like a little V in here, another little bump and a V. Those are your purls and your knits right in here. Okay, so go ahead and continue on doing this, you guys, and just keep practicing, and then eventually one of these days we will do a seed stitch project that you're gonna love. So thank you guys for joining me today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit that little bell icon so you can see all of the upcoming videos that I will be doing. And you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and for all the latest updates on future projects, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the handle @FiberTheory. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell icon for all future project notifications. Have a great day.